let's get over to Mike Eppel. Lots to talk about, including NAFTA negotiations underway. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, good morning, Melanie. Yes, the sixth round of the NAFTA trade negotiations getting underway in Montreal this week. Is it the pivotal talks for these for the trade deal? You know, the Trump administration, Donald Trump specifically, has talked about ripping up the deal and walking away from the bargaining table and going America first. The bargainers for the Canadian and Mexican delegations trying to keep the Trump team at the table and keeping this thing going forward. The big question is, can they get something on paper before, well, the spring and summertime months when we start talking more about the U.S. midterm elections, and then you got the U.S. focused on something completely different other than trade talks. So a lot riding on these negotiations this week in Montreal. Last week, of course, Bank of Canada raised interest rates 0.25%, but warned that if the trade talks collapse, that would be a major economic negative for the Canadian economy going forward. We've also got the U.S. government shutdown into day 3. Not much of an economic impact there yet. If it drags on, then yes, you'd be looking at a pullback in economic growth for the state, because you're talking about 1 million Americans not getting paid in government services. So short term, not a big deal. Politically, obviously it is, but from a market standpoint, not so much. Markets to start this week, many of them at record highs, including the records that were set Friday on Wall Street. We've also got the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland this week, where CEOs, central bankers, and top political leaders will be gathering there to talk about economic issues of the day. Maybe Donald Trump as well, although he might stay in Washington if, in fact, there's no resolution in the U.S. government shutdown scenario. Netflix reports earnings after the bell. That's one of several big companies that are going to be reporting results this week. And Amazon today in Seattle opens the first Amazon Go store that is a cashier-free grocery store. So that's sort of maybe the wave of the future if they can get the bugs work out of that. They've had staffers working on that for the past year. They've had a few hiccups, but Amazon says that is a go for Amazon Go. We'll send it back to the studio.
Hey, Mike, do you know there's one part of the American shutdown not a lot of people are talking about, and it should concern everyone in the world, including us in Canada?
What's that?
During the shutdown, NASA has closed down the office that watches for near-Earth asteroids. There's actually an asteroid that's going to brush by Earth tomorrow. They don't think it's going to be, dangerous. However, it was only discovered a week and a half ago.
Do we really want to know if there's an asteroid heading our direction?
I've often wondered that. If they know there's an Earth-destroying asteroid coming, would you just not tell anyone?
Yeah, just
Does it matter?
Send up the 2 space shuttles to land on it, which was the premise of Armageddon.
All right, thank you very much,
Kevin.
Sir. Mike Eppel, business updates on 680 News at 26 and 56 past every hour.